Okay, welcome to Savvy Made Simple. I am so excited that all of you have joined us tonight. This is going to be another fun girls' night. For those of you that were here for Spa Night last month, it was a blast. We had a wonderful time. We've got some amazing presenters tonight, so we're going to get started. And first up, we have Carrie Ingram. And
hello.
Hey, Carrie, how are you, girl?
Good.
So Carrie's going to do a 5-minute face. I am going to be quiet and let her do her thing.
Okay. As she said, my name's Carrie. I am from Southwest Missouri, and I'm just a mid-50s person who I don't wear a ton of makeup, but I really like my makeup, and I'm just going to kind of go through what I do. I start with concealer. I use the Warm One as a concealer, and I use a little pad like this, and I am as close to my mirror as I can get, so hopefully you can just kind of see what I do. I've done a lot of different things for concealer, but Warm One seems to work the best for me. I put it under my eyes, and I kind of have kind of some darkness around the edge of my nose, so I kind of hit there. And then I have a little place right here where I have some sun damage, and I hit that, and then I'm done with that. For my foundation, I use I think this is called a kabuki brush. Don't laugh at me if I'm saying that wrong. And I use my misting spray, and I just mist my brush, and I have makeup in the kind of dumped into the lid, and I just get that on my brush, and I just very lightly kind of throw that on. Spray my brush and do the other side. If I'm going somewhere like on date night or someplace that I really want more coverage, I just do more layers of it. It's super easy for me. I've used a lot of different kinds of makeup, and Savvy is just, it just doesn't even feel like it's on. I really, really like it. And I use Cool 2 for my foundation. Sometimes toward the end of the summer, I have to mix Cool 2 and Cool 3 a little bit, but that's super easy for me to do. And then I go from there. I do use the misting spray on foundation. I don't on my blush. And I like most of the kind of darker blushes. I'm not really a pink blush girl. The one I'm using right now is called Captivate. And sometimes if I'm just running to the grocery store, I don't even put the blush on. And I use the blush brush from the Savvy brush collection for that. And then I use my veil brush to put on the Diamond Dust. And I just put a little bit of it on my brush, and I just kind of don't get very fancy with it. I just kind of throw it on, and it's good. For eyeshadows, I have most of the eyeshadows. One of the things that I'm looking the most forward to tonight is learning more about how people who actually know more about makeup than me, how they use the eyeshadows. I usually just use the blending brush to kind of put a base on, and usually it is a mixture of Best Kept Secret and something lighter. Right now I have Best Kept Secret and Residual kind of mixed up in my lid. And yesterday I had way too much Residual in there, so I put a little bit more Best Kept Secret. And I use what's called foiling. So I scrubbed my hands with my new Luscious Lemon soap right before I started, because I'll put either some misting spray or some water on my hands, and I get my brush wet before I use the eyeshadows. So most of the time I have almost all the colors, because I like to be able to have a beauty school class and let everybody try them all. But what I grab if I'm not, if I'm just kind of headed out the door, usually is this color from the first holiday collection called Midnight. I really like it. Most of the clothing and stuff I wear is black or gray or has something like that in it. I use the bigger end. I don't know if you can see that. I used the bigger end of the eyeshadow brush for that. And I know I could do a lot more elaborate stuff, and I'd love to learn how to do that. So I'm excited about that tonight. I use the other end of that eyeshadow brush and the color Determined, which is the brown eyeshadow for my brows. I have very blonde brows. I started out using the dark multitasker, and boy, you can just get you can get pretty crazy. And this makeup stays on really well. So sometimes I would get a little too much brow, and I'd either have to decide to go to work like that or wash it off and start over. So I was really happy when I realized I could use the Determined brown eyeshadow, and that's just a good color for me. It gives me some brows. I love people who have like the really like Nicole Perez brow, but that's just not me. So yeah, so the Determined and that end of that brush goes really well for me. Now, I told you that I use a little water or misting spray to do what's called foiling, which is using your eyeshadows wet. But for my eyeliner, I actually get the product instead of the brush. I actually get the product wet, and I do use the dark multitasker for that. And I basically just put a little line right there. It's pretty basic stuff. And then I just put a little along the bottom. And then that is that. And that was using the actual eyeliner brush. I use this big end of it rather than that tiny end. I could never, where's it at? I could never use the tiny ends. Yeah, that would be a disaster. And then I love the new Savvy mascaras. So I start with the lengthening. And a lot of times, if I'm just going to church or the grocery store or someplace like that, I will just put on the lengthening and that's it. I got to look in the mirror over here so I don't poke myself in the eye. I really, really like it. I don't have any sort of bug me reaction to the mascaras. They feel good. They go on nicely. I love the brushes in them. The applicators are really nice. And so I just put that on. Okay, I probably look really freaky in that zoom with my eyeball right by the, caught a glimpse of myself there. So that's the lengthening. And then if I want my lashes to be big and voluminous, I add the volumizing too. You can see that it just adds really nicely.
This is a good Savvy makeup tutorial.
This is, and then I have a lot of the lipsticks and lip glosses. I like both, but tonight I'm just going to throw on a little bit of Maven. And that's it.
Look how beautiful
Back
you
to you,
are.
Rhonda.
So you guys see how quick and easy that was? Like, didn't she make that just look so easy? And it is once you play with it a little bit, right, Carrie?
Yeah.
Awesome. Carrie, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Easy peasy. And I don't know about Carrie or the rest of the ladies, they'll, will tell you themselves, but I know for me, when I started using the Savvy brushes, it made a huge difference.
Yes.
I already had some good brushes, but the Savvy brushes just took it to a whole new level.
Agree.
Okay, Carrie, thank you. Next, we have Katie Thompson, and Katie is going to talk to us about skincare, and Katie is going to help us to know how to color match. So some of you have got your colors there, and you're ready to color match yourselves. So, Katie, take it away.
Okay, so we are going to start with the color match. So if you did get one of the samples and whip those babies out, we're about to put them to good use. I have my sample here. I'm gonna go right along with y'all. Now, I will say this is best to do in natural lighting, so up next to a window during the day or outside, but we're just gonna go ahead and play with it. So I have, this is a warm 2. Typically, I do use a warm 1 for my overall face, but I can use either. They're very forgiving. So there's a lot of ways out there that people say that you can color match, but for me, it just seems to be a little bit overwhelming and can get kind of confusing with all of the methods. So my favorite way to color match someone is just to blend in the color of your face with the color of your neck, because we're kind of going to smooth out the color of our skin on our face, and it just needs to blend really well into your neck, because that's what it's being compared to. It doesn't matter what your arm looks like or what jewelry you wear, you just want it to blend seamlessly. So when you apply the powder, and I took all of my makeup off for you guys to see so I can do this with y'all. So what you want to do is just when you apply it, you know, if I just apply that, you'd be like, no, that does not match her. That does not look good. But you just want it to go all the way down into the neck. You just want it to blend until you cannot see it. Now, I already had brought my orange blossom in here, so when I washed my face, I just used the mirror. So it's a little bit oily and it may stick a little bit. But you can see how it just blends into your neck to where you can't see anything. If it's sticking out and it's looking pink or orange or just not blending in smoothly, you know you do not have the right color. But you can see just with no product on my face, like the coverage that gave me just using my finger. Now, after you figure out which one is blending in the best, then you can use your Young Living foundation brush and really do the whole side of your face to make sure it looks the way that you want it to. The majority of people are going to be a warm color. There's very few people that I color match that have a cool tone, but there are those who may have to mix a cool with a warm. It just depends. I'm very red on my skin. You can see even my neck and chest. I just get really red really easy, but I actually have warm undertones. I don't have pink undertones. If I put on a full face of makeup and go outside and look, my neck will look very yellowish. So if you tend to have pink, blue, if you almost look kind of a blue, then you're going to be a cool. And if you look like olivey or yellow, you're going to be a warm color. So all you want to do is just get those samples and just blend from about halfway your cheek down into your neck and see what blends together really well, where it just blends right in. You can't even tell a difference between your skin and your makeup. So it's as easy as that. It's not complicated. So now let's talk about how to take care of our skin and how to prep our skin so that we get the best application with our Savvy. And number one is being exfoliation. I believe in that 100%. If you're not exfoliating your skin, you are just doing yourself no good by applying all of the products. So I was going to share with y'all a little product that I love. I like to use this, and then after I use this, use my satin mint scrub because it's just so refreshing. It feels really good. But this is called a spa self. They're reasonable, and the reason I love this is because it's antimicrobial. So I typically will use this to cleanse my face with my orange blossom cleanser in the shower. The neat thing about this is you just place your hand into it, and the clear side is a very light exfoliation that you can use on your face. So I just apply my orange blossom cleanser straight to this, and I exfoliate while I'm cleansing. The colored side is a harsher exfoliator for your body. So I love this little mitt. I don't have to worry about bacteria growing on it. And I'm killing two birds with one stone by using my cleanser and exfoliating at the same time. So I do this every night. You may not can do it every night. Just see what works best for your skin. So we've already cleansed and exfoliated, and then I did go ahead and tone for y'all so y'all didn't have to watch that boring process. But this little baby is a real gem. If you're not using a toner, you really, really need to. It makes a big difference long term if you'll be consistent with it. And that's just going to help to remove any of the impurities that may be left behind by your cleanser. And then my most favorite product I don't have, but that would be the Art Renewal Serum. Okay, so this is my everyday morning routine, what I do, whether I'm going to apply my Savvy or not apply anything at all. And that is to use my Art Renewal Serum, and then to add 1 drop of my Progescence Plus Serum or frankincense, either or. I really like to do that because I just feel like it just glides over the skin a little bit easier and doesn't get tacky feeling because I am going to apply more products. So I would just do half of the pump of my Art Renewal Serum mixed with 1 drop of Progescence Plus or my frankincense and apply that all over my face. So just for the video, we're going to pretend like I have the Progescence Plus, the Art Renewal Serum, and I'm going to use my Progescence, and I'm just going to apply this very generously all over my face. I'm going to look super shiny right here under my bright kitchen lights. I just rub this in really good, and then whatever is left over up the neck, because whenever we apply our Savvy, just like we color match, we are going to blend that into our necks. Okay, so there's my Art Renewal Serum mixed with my Progescence Plus, and then we are going to move to the Hydrating Primer by Savvy. I was already using a different primer from another company that was supposed to be clean, but we know it does not get any cleaner than Young Living. And I love this primer. It smells good. It feels like silk on your skin. And the thing about mineral makeup is the more moisture and hydration you give your skin, the better the minerals are going to stick and look and settle into your skin, because it can, if you don't apply it right and if you don't have enough moisture, it can look a little bit chalky, which we don't want. We want everything to look very dewy and glowing. So I'm just going to go right in. This is the hydrating. Now I have oily skin, like very, very oily skin, but I still use all of the things hydrating and moisturizing because that's what our skin needs. So we're going all in with the hydrating. This just smells so good. And then because I'm oily, I'm going to go in also with the mattifying, but I'm only going to do it in my T-zone because that's where I mainly get oily at. And so after I let that hydrating primer kind of settle into my skin for just a couple of minutes while I'm brushing my teeth or something, then I'm going to take my mattifying primer and I'm just going to put it right through my T-zone. And this feels really good also, especially around my nose is where I get the most oiliness from. I'll have to blot throughout the day with fresh powder to kind of keep that under control. But I just apply it right through my most oily spots. And I'm just giving my skin another layer of moisture for those minerals to stick to. And as y'all can see, I do not have extremely clear skin. I'm pretty broke out, but because I take such good care of my skin and I keep it moisturized and hydrated, whenever I'm done with my Savvy, I get a completely flawless look. So exfoliation and being consistent with your products is really what's going to make the difference. You don't have to have perfect skin, you just need to have healthy skin. So that's what I do every single day. I love their primers. Depending on how you apply your minerals may depend on how you kind of prep your skin for it, because I know some people make a BB cream, which I do sometimes, so you might would use like one less product if you're going to be adding your minerals in with a moisturizer to use as a BB cream. But that's how I do it. That's how I take care of my skin on a daily basis. Y'all can reach out in the future and ask me questions. I'd be happy to help you, and y'all just stay tuned because we got a lot more good stuff coming.
Katie, thank you. You are radiant, my friend. So beautiful. Okay, let's talk for a minute about what is in our makeup and why why it's so important, and why one of the reasons that we wanted to do this class tonight is not just because it is a girls' night, although that is a big part of it, but also we want everyone to be healthy. And so much of the time we're really particular about the food we eat and the, you know, the vitamins we take, the oils that we use, but maybe not so much with our makeup. And we kind of get attached to our makeup. Anybody, you know, anybody with me on that, where you've used something for a long time and because you've used it, you're comfortable with it, and ooh, it just gives you chills to think about having to try to learn to do something different or use something new and give up something you love. But let me just talk to you for a minute about that. Did you know that in Europe, that in the cosmetic industry, they banned 1,200 ingredients, 1,200. Do you know in the United States, the cosmetic industry bans 11? So 1,200 versus 11. Not even comparable, ladies, not even comparable. Savvy Minerals bans 2,500. So far beyond, they basically double, a little better than that, what Europe does. And we know that the European Union is very strict about what can go into their products. They do not allow the same crap that we do in the US. So that's important because there's something called bioaccumulation. And if you're not familiar with bioaccumulation, what that looks like is that our body accumulates toxicity little bits at a time. So yes, while we might get exposed to a huge dose of radiation or, you know, something like that, metals, different things, just day in and day out, the products that we are putting on our skin, the products that we're washing our hair with, the deodorant that we're using, all of those things make a difference. What are we brushing our teeth with? What kind of lotion? What kind of makeup are we using? And as you can see here from the numbers I just shared with you, the majority of the cosmetics in the United States are extremely toxic, terribly toxic. Start to be a label reader. I challenge every one of you to become a label reader, not just with makeup, but with everything that you're bringing into your home. You're the gatekeeper. I challenge you to be a good gatekeeper. But bioaccumulation happens like this. I get up in the morning and I brush my teeth, and I'm brushing my teeth with something that has artificial sweeteners that are toxic to me, that have dyes in them, that have nanoparticles in them. I put on deodorant with phthalates and parabens in it. I wash my hair with shampoo that's got sodium lauryl sulfate in it and a bunch of other things. And so by the time I get ready to leave my house, I've applied probably 300 different unsafe, unhealthy chemicals to my body. And if I do that every day, that's going to build up over a period of time. And that's where we get the bioaccumulation. So it really does make a difference every single choice we make, ladies. And we don't want people that we know and love, we don't want anyone to have endocrine issues, to have autoimmune issues, to have diseases. We don't want that. And that's where this comes from. Even the American Cancer Society now says that only 5 to 10% of cancers, all cancers, are genetic. That means the rest are environmental, ladies. That means that every single choice we make matters. So when we're looking at Savvy Minerals, not only is it cruelty-free, not only is it plant-based and reasonable and responsibly sourced, it's completely and totally free of toxins, talc, bismuth, parabens, phthalates, gluten, nylon, acrylics, polyvinyls, synthetic fragrance, nanoparticles, any type of harsh chemicals, coal tar, heavy metals, synthetic dyes, cheap fillers, petrochemicals, and BPA. So if you don't know what all those are, you can go Google them later. But it makes a difference. And I'm so grateful that literally the day that Young Living announced that they were making Savvy Minerals available to us was a day I rejoiced. And I've been so excited for that ever since. So please make good choices and be healthy, my friends. Next up, we have Debbie Fritter. Debbie, I can't see you on my screen, but Debbie is going to show us how to put on a face.
Hello, I'm Debbie Fretter. This is my beautiful niece model, Mackenzie Griffin. I'm a cosmetologist and had my license going on 20 years. So I got it when I was like 5. So I'm gonna just run through and show just daily wear. I'm real big that I think as women, find what works for you. You know, I like to wear a lot of makeup. There's people that don't, and that's okay. And Mackenzie will just roll with whatever I do to her pretty much. So she's already washed her face and moisturized. I'm using the mattifying primer. I'm definitely oily, and I know she is too. And I've used a lot of primers. Definitely Young Living is my all-time favorite that I've ever used of anything. And I just really try to work that in to the skin. What primer is, what it's gonna do is it's gonna help even out your skin tone. It can even out any fine lines. It's gonna help your makeup adhere better, last longer. Kind of gives a little bit of control. And Mackenzie is a mix between a warm one and a cool one. And I've actually already mixed up her powder. I've done her makeup before, so, you know, I'm reading the question. You know, I've only used the mattifying primer. Listening to Katie, I definitely think I need the hydrating. So I'd say if you had dry skin, definitely get the hydrating. So I've got the Savvy Mineral foundation brush, and when I start, I like to kind of just work it in a circle and try to work that powder kind of in and get it attached to her face. I do a lot of prom, hair, makeup, and I was like Rhonda. I was so happy when they announced Savvy Minerals was coming to us. I was able to get, I have quite a few of the colors, most of them, and so it's been easy for me to have at the salon, and it's easy to match up. It's forgiving. It's easy to blend. And the brushes, again, everybody kind of likes something different, but definitely put the brushes on your list. For some people, I know that's really hard. People think, oh, that's a lot of money. A good brush is going to make your makeup go further. You're going to get more use out of your product. And you should wash them. Don't go too long without washing them. I like to spray mine with Thieves Cleaner. Not cleaner, the sanitizer in the little bottle. And just kind of spray your brushes once a week. And then I actually use like the Thieves hand soap to wash mine in the Orange Blossom face wash. And this is just a little bit darker to go in and give her a little contouring. And this is the contour brush, which is amazing. I just got it, kind of in love with it. I washed them all for Mackenzie.
Thank you.
Nice, clean. And contouring is something that I don't know, I suppose it's different generations. I'm old school, so, but you're trying to create with contouring is maybe a thinner nose, a little bit of taking your cheeks in. She doesn't have an extra chin, but if you do, it's a great way to hide it. And blush, for Mackenzie, I'm gonna do kind of a little bit warmer colors. And I'm going to use Awestruck on her. Definitely like my favorite blush color.
Mine too. I like
Is it? And since we're just doing a daytime look, I'm not going to go real elaborate. We'll do that later. And it kind of has, the Awestruck has a little bit of a sheen in it and a little sparkle, which I love. Put sparkles and everything and I'd be a happy girl. Ooh, the brush cleaner. I haven't tried the brush cleaner yet. I'll put that on my list. And then for eyeshadow, I'm actually going to go back and pull the primer again and put some on just on the top of her eyelids. Try to give the eyeshadow just a little bit more staying power through the day. You know, my eyelids kind of get creases in them sometimes if I don't use the primer. So I would definitely recommend priming your eyes before you put shadow on them. And oh, choices. So I have the Natural Quartz palette, definitely right up there. Everything's my favorite, but and this is the Royal Winter. So a little bit of a fun blue in there. I actually have a little bit on with my gray black. So for Mackenzie, I'm going to use the Natural Quartz, and I'm going to use the Blessed color in there, and I'm going to just cover her eye completely, her eyelid.
Is it over here?
Here it is.
Oh.
And with mineral makeup, you're going to have some fallout. I know some people like to put on their shadow before they do their face, and I tend to like to do the face foundation first. Any fallout that you get, which is just going to be falling down here, I like to take my Veil brush and just wipe it away. It's forgiving. If it's got a little bit of sparkle, then nobody knows. Working from the same palette again, I'm going to take the upper color, which is Petal.
That's pretty.
Oh, I don't want to block. I want you facing
Okay.
there. Yeah. And I'm actually just going to take that on the crease and just kind of softly work it in. This is the blending brush, which I tend to like to do for putting that on there, getting shadow in. You know, for some of us, we don't have as much room to work there. Don't be scared to pull that up above your crease. Give you a little bit more color. I'm going to do this side. Makeup's fun. Play around with it. If you don't like it, you can go wash it off and redo it. Then you have a good excuse if you're late. Okay, and I'm working from the same palette again, and this time I'm going to use the bottom color called Bliss. And I'm just going to go in on her corners. Just kind of tap it on there, work it in. And I'm going to stay, for the most part, leave that darker in the corner. I'm at Mackenzie's house. I had considered doing it at the salon, but we're not officially legal to be open till Monday. So I decided we'd do it here. And I don't know if anybody's seen it, but there's a really cool trick where you can actually use tape and tape on your face, and it gives you a nice little line. I'm not going to do that tonight, though. So the next thing I'm going to do is her eyebrows. And Mackenzie has super light eyebrows. Sometimes they get a little crazy and get them a little dark. Your eyebrows are so important. They frame your face. They can open up, they can change your whole look. So a lot of times people don't know where to start your eyebrow or where to end them. General rule of thumb, about halfway in your nostril, make a little dot. That's going to be the start. Be about halfway through your nostril. And you want to go to the, I guess it'd be the left side of your iris. And then to the edge of your eye, a little bit of the corner. And I'm just going to lightly go in with her because, again, she does not appreciate when I go too crazy on her eyebrows. I'm just doing real soft, gentle strokes up. And if you mess up, just blend it with the foundation brush and blend it out. Kind of like Carrie, a couple times I've went with some pretty crazy eyebrows throughout the day. Just own them. And this is the dark of the multitasker. Really, if you can just go in super light-handed and kind of lighten it up some. And I don't know if you guys have heard the expression, but your eyebrows are sisters, not twins. So generally you have one eyebrow that's perfect, does what it's supposed to do, looks great. And then you have the troublemaking sister that just does whatever she wants. And that, from what I understand, is because usually you use one side of your face more. So one eyebrow may have a little more muscle behind it. The way you sleep definitely affects. I know I'm definitely seeing more signs of wrinkles on one side of my face than the other. So for eyeliner, I'm going to take our setting spray, misting spray, and I'm going to go in with the black eyeliner. Why can't I think of jet setter. And I tend to do this in the lid of mine for personal. At the salon, it goes on a plate that I can throw away, so I'm not dipping into that makeup. This is mine. And it's wet, so it's kind of like a liquid liner. Just kind of brush it on there, on the top. I know some people do a little more, and I'll do a little bit more heavier with her later. Again, so forgiving. If you mess up, wipe it off, start over. Okay, so I am taking, it's actually the little brush, out of the palette. And I'm just going to dip it in the jet setter. I'm just going right over what I did, just kind of blending it out. Softening up that line a little bit. Okay, wait, how do you look at me? Okay. And she's got a little bit of fallout, and see, I'm gonna go underneath her eye just a little bit. And I know, have you look up? I know for me, I'm very sensitive on what eye makeup I wear. And I'm a crier. So my eye makeup tends to get in my eyes frequently. And huge difference when I started using Savvy Minerals and how much my eyes were burning, being able to cry and not continually crying because my eyes were on fire. So this is Mascara Young Living, which we all waited patiently for. She's got beautiful lashes. And I'm gonna put a little bit of Veil on top of the mascara. Just gonna take the eyeshadow brush and just kind of tap it on. That just kind of helps, kind of like a primer, just build up those lashes, give them some more volume, add a little bit of length on there. Oh, I'm missing some. And then highlighting, I'm not sure who all highlights, but I love highlighting. You know, I'm not sure. Rhonda, do you? Okay. So for highlighter, I'm actually going to use the eyeshadow Wanderlust, which is like a white color. I'm just going to run that down tip of her nose. What do they call that? The Cupid's bow, or
Yeah, I think so.
right here on the lip. And then I'm going to switch over to Crowned All Over. I'm going to use my contouring brush and just go along her hairline, give her a little bit of a sun-kissed look. And I'm definitely a lip gloss person. I know a lot of people like lipstick, but give me lip gloss and I'm happy all day. And, hey, don't talk. Oh my goodness. What's that? Can you read that? It's Embrace, I believe. I don't have my glasses to see. Put a little lip gloss on her. And that would be what I would say for day-to-day, going to the grocery store, whatever you're gonna do.
I like that I do have like pretty severe like acne scars, and I feel like it definitely blends it in better with still feeling very light on my face.
Yeah, the
Like
lightweight is huge.
Mhm.
And the smell. I'm also a big smell person, and like as soon as I got the Savvy Minerals, I was like, I need to smell it, and it really doesn't have, you know, that odor isn't there. It doesn't smell like you're wearing your grandma's perfume on your face. So I think, yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm done with day-to-day application.
That is awesome. You look amazing. How about get up there really close and let us look at your eyes. They're so beautiful. Like, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Debbie, there are several comments. I don't know if you have been able to see them. I've been trying to keep up, but there's several. I don't even know if I have. But there were a couple that I wondered if you would address, you or Katie, either one. Where I'm trying to find them now. Where people are saying, a couple of the ladies are saying they can no longer wear a matte foundation that feels like it brings out the aging lines, that type of thing, drier skin. What can you tell us about that?
Katie definitely could probably touch a little more on that. I feel that struggle. I have a nice wrinkle developing right in between. Definitely seeing drier skin. Moisturize is definitely what I have been doing. And since I've been home more, like I'll just find myself randomly going in the bathroom and putting my moisturizer on. That would be my advice. And the primer, definitely use a primer. That will help fill in some of those lines to where your makeup maybe doesn't settle in there, and help it, just gives you a little bit softer appearance.
Thank you, Debbie.
Yeah.
Katie?
I would say that for more mature skin, to definitely make sure you're using the Art Renewal Serum with a hydrating primer. And then I would even recommend in your trouble areas where maybe you do have some fine lines or wrinkles, using the mattifying, because I feel like that almost acts as a filler to a degree. And then after they have all of the, their whole application done with all of the Savvy, then I would recommend coming back with the Diamond Dust, either the original or the matte, and just blotting very lightly in those trouble areas, and that's going to help keep that smooth finish all day. And it may be something, just like I have to touch up my oily spots, halfway through the day. They just may have to blot a little bit of veil just to keep that nice and smooth, but that's what I would recommend.
Katie, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I know for me, because I have mature skin, if I don't exfoliate enough, then I get that really dry, dull, my skin, even if I'm using moisturizer and toner and all that, my skin just doesn't look the same. And when I put on my makeup, there's a huge difference.
Yes, so our cell skin turnover rate as we age gets a lot slower. So babies, they shed their whole skin like every week, every few days. And as we get older, it gets longer, prolonged to weeks and even months. And then you get that dead skin buildup that is just not pretty when you apply the makeup on top of. So exfoliation with, making sure that you're adding in that hydration is the key importance to, having healthy skin and a pretty application. Great.
Thank you. Thank you both, Katie and Debbie. I appreciate that. Okay, so you guys, are you loving this? This is amazing. I am loving this. All right, so next up we have Felicia McLean, and she's going to give us some tips and tricks of her own. If she could get unmuted.
Hey guys, can you hear me? Okay, I feel way out of my depth after those two, because if anyone knows me at all in this group, you will know that I almost never wear makeup. And prior to Young Living, my sister and my mom would be like gifting me makeup, because they're like, Felicia, you're getting up there now. You really should start using makeup. And I was like, it takes too long. I would like to sleep longer. There's just no way I'm doing all of that to go to the grocery store. It's just no way. But because of my Young Living, and then I heard all of this natural stuff, it kind of just piqued my interest in wanting to know more. Plus, I switched jobs, or I got promotion or something like that. And I started having more and more formal occasions where I needed to wear makeup for those ones. And I had no clue where to start or how to apply the stuff. And I will tell you, everything that I show you or like that has been pretty much trial and error. I did go to beauty school. I was blessed to make it there. And I happened to meet Melissa Pepe, and she did do a little things with my face, and that gave me some tips. And I also went to convention in Mexico, and I went to the Savvy makeup area, and I ended up meeting one of their makeup artists, and she also taught me some of these tricks. So they're not my own, but I've grown to figure out how to make them work on my skin. And like she said, it's easy to wipe off and start again. I would caution you all, if you're thinking, I can't make my face look like what she just did, I can't do all that. If you never try, you never will. So don't be afraid to try. I was blessed also that when I started my makeup, Young Living had 4 shades of dark. Right now, they only offer 1 shade of dark. So my foundation with them is 1 and 2 blended. And I use equal parts, and I had like a separate one that I blended into, and then this stays in my makeup bag. My mother is also my complexion, and she mixes 2 and 3. But what I would say to anyone else of color in the group, or people who have people in their downlines who have color, Young Living doesn't take anything away and not give us something better. So keep your pants on. I'm sure we're gonna get a better color for our skin very soon. I'm just grateful in the meantime I can use these. But if you don't have that particular color, don't say, well, because I can't get my foundation with Young Living, that then I can't get anything with Young Living. As Rhonda mentioned, our products, the regular ones we buy on the shelves, are so harmful. And even the ones that aren't as harmful, they also have products in them that are going to help our skin and our bodies be healthier. I don't know too many products out there that you put on your skin that's actually helping it to be healthier, to slow down the signs of aging, or like in the mascara, to help our eyelashes to grow. Young Living has taken the time to add benefits to our makeup. So for the person who didn't take the time to use makeup, it's good when I do, because it's going to help my skin stay young and healthy for longer. So if that in itself wasn't an incentive enough, then I'm not quite sure what would be. So a couple of things. When I started with Young Living makeup, I was really, really used to a lot of the reds that you would find in other, off the counters, reds and blues. I mean, I know we have a blue now in the new palette, which I don't have yet because it wasn't able to ship to Cayman in time, but I will get one. I can't wait to get one. But because of that, and liking the reds, and with our skin tones having those kind of brighter colors, I was blessed to be taught, the makeup artist in Mexico used my lipstick as my red. And she literally, and I'll show you guys. So I did put out my thing there. I will say I didn't practice enough in front of this video camera to make sure you guys could see what I'm doing. But I literally just took a bit and just rubbed it over the top there. And because the lipstick is a bit moist, you don't have to wet it for this particular purpose. And then literally, I'm just going to put it over on my eyelid, like that. Can you see that? And like she says, if you go a little higher, it's okay, because that is what this beautiful, what's the blending brush, where'd it go? Blending brush is good for. So now you can just blend it out and kind of just let it like take some of it from there and like go up with it. So you're gonna get like a blended kind of darker red down here and then pink as you go. And I'm making a mess because I'm holding a mirror at the same time. So bear with me, but it looks better when I'm doing it properly. So it's got that kind of nice pinkish red tone, but not hard. And if for some reason you had to apply more and it felt like it was a bit too moist, you can just take a bit of your foundation color. So then I can literally dip it in a bit of the foundation. And then I just dust it off. They do that all the time at beauty school. I don't know what it does, and then you kind of dust it over it, and it gives it just kind of that nice dry. She's laughing at me. I follow people, what they do, and then I try to imitate them. So then you get that nice kind of pinkish red, but not terribly red, and just like a nice blended color there. I also like where did it go? Everything was in front of me, but it feels like it's all hiding. I'd gotten this particular mascara palette back when they had it. I think it was one Christmas. And one of the colors in there is like a dark black. I love that one because you can take that one on the end if you want to, or what I do. If I want to give my eyes more of that smoky look, I can touch that there and literally just in the corner here, Just put a little bit of black. And then once again, take this lovely Young Living, what's it called, blending brush, and then blend it through there and blend it this way. And it's just gonna go in between there and blend it there. So it kind of comes, it's not going up perfect, but it's a little bit heavy there. Hold on, let me do this. Let me look at myself, not at the camera. So if I just go in there, I'll actually get a bit of a dark blend, like a smoky look right over it. And then you can't even tell that I have lipstick on my eye. And because Young Living is so natural and all good, you don't even have to worry. It's not going to hurt your skin. It's not, I'm not sticking in it. My fingers are no more, it's not like I used to see lipstick on me if I was to rub my eyes. It's blended in perfectly, just like a regular mask, eyeshadow in that regards. The other trick that they taught me, again, because they had blushes, like they had this blush that's, what's this blush? It's called Awestruck. But all their blushes tended to, when I put them on, where's my blush? I'm just gonna spray it with the misting spray. I find for me that the brushes, the powders, I really need my mixing spray. Otherwise, it just kind of blows off my face and doesn't stay on, even with after putting the primer. But I find that if I use that particular color, it sometimes comes out too pink. And you can't really tell it, but it's more pink than I personally would like my makeup to look like. And so the other thing that they taught was you could take like the Maze lipstick again and literally just dot your finger on there, rub it around, and then just dot like this. And it gives you more of a red without the extra extra shine that it has on it. And then I get like a nice pinkish color in there, dulling down a bit of the extra shine. I don't know if you can see it, but sometimes with the mineral makeup, depending on how you layer, especially on darker people's skin, I'm not sure about you guys, other people, you can get like a shine that kind of looks waxy, if that makes sense. I don't know. So then just blending it like that really, really helps to get it in. And the other thing I find on a darker skin, if you feel that it's too intense, just wet your brush again and just keep spreading. So if you just spray your brush and you just keep spraying, spreading it over time until you get the look that you are going for without the extra bit of shine that you don't want. And it's not the best on the computer, so sorry, but it really, really makes a difference so you don't feel waxy, because we're trying to get away from that whole idea of having a natural makeup that just looks like it's on your face and it's all natural. And so that's what you're going for. I don't tend to do too much more. I do another trick that I tend, and I'm only going to show you guys tricks because I am not the makeup artist, so you don't want me telling you how to do all the other things. But as Debbie mentioned, I also learned that eyebrows are amazing. And another thing that they taught me when I was there was using my mascara as my filler for my eyebrows. So I just literally go gently like that. And I just follow my natural eyebrow. I don't try to make it, I can't do all those other fancy things, but you can see the difference in the color, but it's not overly dark. Well, mine are black anyway, so it works for me with my black one, but it feels it in nice and natural. And if you could see me up close, it doesn't look like a painted on brow, really and truly. It just works really, really well for me to give me that pop around there. I won't even try to show you the eyeliner because I know someone's coming that does that way better than I can, but I do use the black eyeliner, and I would do my eyeliners with that. I used to use this before the mascara. I would do this, use this one, and use the brush that Young Living you can get with your kit. Actually, I got this one added. This one came added. It's your eyeliner one. You have this piece here, and you can do this like this and do your eyebrows that way. But that took more skill than I had. So I just use the mascara brush and that works. And then last but not least, I do mix my colors, my lipstick colors as well for my lips. So I might put like one color on and blend it in. And then I will add another one over because I like the kind of shine with it. And sometimes the sticks are more matted. So if you want to add a bit more of a shine to it, then you could just put the ones in. I use, what do I use? I use Posh for this lipstick, and then I think this is Mab, I can't even read it. I can't read it, sorry guys, it's this color. So don't be afraid to experiment. Rhonda's cracking up at me. She's gonna be like, I'll never ask her to do makeup again. But don't be afraid to experiment. Young Living has great products and they're very versatile like everything else that Young Living makes, so don't be afraid. While you guys are presenting, I'm gonna finish my face. But on that note, that's pretty much me because that's all I know.
Fifi, thank you. You look radiant. Look at you. Like, get up close again, just so they can see the difference between the two sides of your face and how quick and easy that is. So even if you only have a couple of products, you can still do some really cool things. So thank you. You taught me some interesting things tonight. I appreciate you coming on here and sharing with us.
My pleasure.
All right, so next up we have Yvonne. And Yvonne is going to, I think, teach us how to make liquid makeup and maybe some contouring.
Yes, hang on a minute. I just looked down and I'm bleeding. I'm crazy. Hang on. I scratched something off and it's not, didn't quit bleeding. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, so I have mature skin. This is mature skin, okay? It's not just a wrinkle here. But I have several dark spots, so a lot of times I have to use a foundation that is a liquid foundation. So those of you that got the little things that we sent out, I took and made me one. And I like to use the Orange Blossom moisturizer, and I put 2 squirts in there and I mixed it up. If you see blood, don't worry about it, okay? So I have it mixed up in my little container here, and I have my little spatula, and I'm going to take it, put it on my fingers, and I'm just going to apply a liquid makeup. Now, I use a warm too. I also got a bite of it on the tractor, so I'm going to cover that up a little bit. But see how that warm too? You really can't even, I mean, it's just blended right in. So we're going to do that on both sides. And get it all blended in like that. Now again, still having that mature skin, I'm going to follow over it with my powder. I'm going to take my foundation brush, lightly dip it in the powder, knock it off so I don't have a lot, and I'm just going to start dabbing because this is where my dark spots are. Okay, I'm going to come back with my big brush and sort of smooth all that all the way down the neck so that it's going really, see, I don't have any line there. And then I'm going to do my contouring. Now, I was taught, and this was just for the beauty school girls, but I have just a little bit. I don't have much at all. And then I knock off what's extra on my brush. And I was taught to start at the cheekbone and come toward the corner of the mouth. So I go right through here, knock it off, start at cheekbone, come right here toward the mouth. A little bit more here and here. I do a little bit on the tip of my nose because this is I like that sun look, that bronze look. I also like to go right here, adding this little bit darker line right here. If your face is fuller, it's going to bring the eye down. So on both sides, I'm doing just a little bit right here, and it's bringing that line down like that right there. Okay, now I'm going to take my big brush again, and I can either use the matte veil or the other veil. I'm just using some more foundation, but I just want to blend it in. Okay, that's my face for contouring. You see a longer line for that fuller face. You see full coverage with the foundation, the liquid foundation, and it's very, very simple to use. You can use some people like to use the sunscreen. I tried the 50 and it's way too thick. I did do the 10 and it worked better. You can even use the primers. You can make your foundation using the primers, but my favorite, again, is the Orange Blossom Moisturizer. It has just the right texture to be able to smooth very simply, and it doesn't leave a lot of lines. So that's my presentation.
Yvonne, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So really, you could use the moisturizer of your choice, whatever moisturizer works best for you, or you said one of the primers as well, correct? Did I understand that?
Yes, and you just,
okay.
You can mix it ahead of time. I don't recommend mixing a lot at one time. Like, don't take your whole container and make the liquid out of it, but I will mix enough sometime to last a week.
Okay.
But I don't want it mixed a long time ahead of time. I'm afraid it would get contaminated.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
And you said the sunscreen. You could use.
Yes, you can use the sunscreen, especially in the summertime. That would be an excellent way to get that sunscreen on there.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Yvonne, thank you so much. That's
I think
awesome.
I'm going to go find some essential oil and see if I can stop the bleeding. So y'all have a good time.
Okay. Oh. Okay. So next up, we have Brittany Piper. Brittany, where are you? Brittany is so talented and so amazing. She's going to, I think, start out showing us some things to do with our eyes.
Yeah, hello.
There you are. Hi, Brittany.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me on today. I'm super excited to be sharing with you guys all the way from New Zealand. So it's actually the middle of the day here. I feel a little bit in over my head. All you guys have been so amazing, and I've learned so much from you guys already. So hopefully I can add something that you guys will find interesting. So I am so passionate about Savvy, which is really crazy because had you have asked me 2 years ago, I would have said, no way. I'm not a professional. I'm a self-taught makeup artist, and I was so into liquid makeup. My mum had been in Young Living for a while, and she kept bringing up this idea of this Savvy makeup, and I was like, no way, it's way too hard to change. I'm used to what I use, I love what I use, but boy was I wrong. Since I've swapped to Savvy, there is nothing else that I would use. It is so versatile, it is so amazing. You can do so much more with it than liquid makeup. It's incredible. Something I wanted to share with you guys today to do with my eyes, to share how versatile Savvy is I actually want to share one of the palettes with you. This is the Sahara Sunset palette. It has the most gorgeous colors in here. I actually originally bought this palette just for the white because I wanted to do Halloween makeup and I wanted a white pigment, so I bought this, and ever since I've fallen in love with every single shade in here, and I want to share with you why I love it so much. We could go with a neutral look with this as well, with the browns and the whites, but I want to do something really fun, so we're going to go with the name of the Sahara Sunset and do a Sahara Sunset on our eye. Which is actually super easy. Like, I'm not a professional, I haven't been trained or anything, so anybody can totally do this, which is why Savvy is so much fun. So first, what I like to do when I'm doing my eyes, I've already got my foundation on, is I like to grab a little bit of foundation on my blending brush and just dab it on my eyelids. This makes it really easy to blend the stronger colors over the top. If you go straight in with the strong colors, it's really hard to blend them out smooth. So if you put on your foundation, it's going to blend in a lot easier. So I like to dab that over there. You could totally use the primer trick that we heard earlier. I haven't tried that before, so I'm totally going to do that next time. Then we're going to grab the eyeshadow brush. Savvy brushes are amazing. I know you've heard that 1,000 times tonight, but they are so good. Make applications so much easier. So you're going to grab your eyeshadow brush, and we're just going to grab a little dab of this Elite color here, which is going to be our sunset sky, I guess, if you want to put it that way. And we're just going to dab it on the outside of our eye. I really don't do anything too precise because I'm not a professional. I don't know about all the funky words and things. but I still always get compliments on my makeup from using this palette, so you don't have to be crazy skilled to do this. So literally just dab it on the outside of your eye, like so, and then grab a blending brush, and we're just going to soften it out a little bit. Again, nothing too precise, just dancing over our eyes with this. Here we go. And then the end goal, I really want to bring out this gorgeous VIP glimmering pigment that we have down here. What really helps to bring out the shimmers that can be a little light on the skin is to actually put this White Cloud 9 shade underneath. It really helps to bring out the shine of them. So you can use your misting spray. At the moment, I'm actually using the Royal Hawaiian Sandalwood Hydrosol as my misting spray. I just love the smell of it. And so I'm actually just using that. So I just spray a flat eyeshadow brush and grab some Cloud 9. And then what you want to do, you can see it really picks up a lot of shadow if you wet your brush first. It doesn't ruin the palette. It won't make your palette cakey or anything like that. It'll just dry out and you can use it dry again. So grab a little bit of that, and we're just going to put it over the top of the lid. Don't go too high. You can see, I don't know how well you can see on my camera. The lights are really bright coming in from the window, but we'll do the best we can. So we dab that over your eye. You can see a little bit of white there. You can go ahead and do that on both sides. If it dries out, just spray your brush again. Start again. Here we go. So that's going to be the base for our sunshine that we are going to make with the VIP. So we're going to wet the same brush again because it's going to pick up that real glimmer real thick. So again, wet your brush, dip it in this VIP shade, and we're just going to dab it in the middle, in the center of our eyelid right here. Just like that. There we go. And you can see it's already creating kind of like a sunset glowy sky kind of look there. Do that on the other side as well. Awesome. So that's the top of the eye done. Really easy. And then I like to get this drift color down here, which you can think of as the dirt. So I think this is actually a lip brush, but I just really like the size of it for under my eye. So just grab a little bit of the drift, and we're just going to go under the eye with that. You can recreate the same look with the Royal Winter palette as well, but more of a bluey silver night sky look. The one really cool thing about these palettes is all the colors match, so they're really easy to play with. You don't have to think too hard about what shades are going to go really nicely together. You just pick up the palette and you've got it all sorted. So under the eye like that, I don't know if you can see that so far. And then what's really going to tie it together is the eyeliner. This stuff is the best. Jet Setter is the first Savvy product that I tried, and I fell absolutely in love with it. It's what convinced me to start using Savvy, because liquid eyeliner is like my thing. I love liquid eyeliner. And when my mom said their eyeliner was a powder, that's when I said, absolutely no way. And she actually bought me a tub, and then I was like, okay, now I see what you're talking about. Now it's my favorite thing. So I either just tap a little bit in the lid of my Jet Setter, or I actually get a separate container, just a little pot that you can get from any craft store. And you can make it up in here. That way, if you use quite a lot of misting spray, you're not going to be putting the moisture back into the same tub when you put the lid back on. So that's a good way to keep it separate if you like a really liquidy mixture. But for today, we're just going to use this. So just a little dash of powder. I like to spray the spray into the lid, not onto the brush. I find this makes it a lot more of a consistent eyeliner and a lot easier to get that really harsh black color that I like to have. So spray that in there. And this is just a brush from an eyeliner that I used to use back in the days before I found out how bad it was for me. But I love the brush so much, I just washed it out, and that's what I use. So you don't have to throw away all your old stuff. You can repurpose it for better uses. So mix that in there. And then we're just going to go across the eye. Hopefully you can see. Like, look how black that is. It's amazing. straight across the top like that. And then we're gonna go a little line underneath. There we go. And then we're gonna do a really simple wing. A lot of people say they can't do winged eyeliner. The tip is don't think too hard about it. If you think too hard about it, you're gonna end up with some wonky shape. Literally all you have to do is like a tiny straight line. Don't try and make a flick. The flick is gonna do its own thing. So just literally do a short straight line out from your eye like that. And then use the curve of your eye to meet the corner that you just made. So meet where you just done it, and then fill in between those two lines you've made. And every time you'll get a perfect wing. Easy. So we'll do it again on this side. Just do a line across the top. Like that, a line on the bottom. And then don't overthink the wing. Just a line straight out. And then use the curve of your eye to make a triangle and fill it in. Easy. And they both match. So cool, so easy. Another thing I love about how versatile Savvy is I actually even use the Jet Setter powder as my mascara. So all I do for that is just a washed out mascara wand. The same liquid that I just used to make my eyeliner, I just dip the clean mascara wand straight in there. And then you just apply that to your lashes. There we go. I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but like it looks really good in person. If you want to add some volume, you can grab a little bit of the dry Jet Setter and go over top. You can kind of make it like those 3D lashes that you see where people use the fibers, but instead you can use wet Jet Setter and then a powdered Jet Setter over the top. There we go. And that is that eye look. Like seriously, it looks like I've gone and paid for some fancy eye look, and it literally took me maybe 5 minutes when I'm not talking. It literally takes me 5 minutes. And then with the rest of this palette, this is seriously my favorite product. I just get this little flat contouring brush that I have, and I use this drift color here as my contour. So it's gonna all match together because you're using literally the same shades on your face. So dip in the drift, that's your contour. And then I use my blush brush, get the Cloud 9, that's my highlight. Super easy. So this is literally my whole face, this palette. It's done my eyes, it's done my contour, it's done my highlight, and then the Elite I use as my blush. I just grab a tiny bit on my blush brush, dab that over here. What's really cool about using this palette for your whole face too is everything blends really nice and your face comes together, like all the shades match and are beautiful. Put that over, and then I just blend in that blush I've done so it's not too harsh. And that is my whole face finished with literally 3 products. All I've used is foundation, Jet Setter eyeliner, and the Sahara Sunset palette. And you're done, yeah. And that's my eye look presentation. Thanks.
Wow, that's all I have to say right now is wow. How about the rest of you? Is that amazing? You are amazing with that. You look beautiful. Goodness, goodness, goodness. Wow, thank you, Brittany. Can you guys imagine? She did all that with that little palette. I'm just blown away right now, totally blown away. Okay, we're inviting Debbie to come back. And Debbie's gonna come back now, and she's gonna take that beautiful day face that she created earlier, and she's gonna turn it into a night face. So, you know, ladies, when we've worked all day or done mommy stuff all day or whatever, and we don't have very long to go from mommy to wife or whatever that might look like, right, for the evening, she's gonna show us how to do that really quickly.
Okay, let me just say I put mascara on my eyebrows while we were watching. That's amazing. And then we're watching Brittany do her wing.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm like, I definitely overthink the wing. So to take it up to the night, I'm gonna do a little bit more contouring on her, a little bit more highlight. I'm gonna darken up her eyes some. So I'm actually taking the dark one foundation. I'm just running that about from the middle of the ear to about here. And I like to work it down a little. We'll do this side. And I'm going to do a little bit darker on our nose with the contouring. And this is just the dark one foundation. And I'm going to darken up her blush. I'm going to use Serene for that.
that's pretty.
And it's a little more matte. It does not have much, it doesn't have any sparkle or shine to it. Or dust that off. And then I'm just taking my foundation brush and really just, again, I mean, we all keep saying it, but it's just totally forgiving. You get too much or don't like how it looks, you can just blend it in a little bit more and keep working with it. And I'm gonna pull the Wanderlust again. And I'm actually going to use a little bit of I just always want to call it setting spray, the misting spray. And this is just a cheap brush. I'm just going to run that back down her nose, try to get that just really highlighted well. And then I'm going to go back up to her eyes. And I definitely need the Sahara palette, but I'm going back to the palette that I used, the Natural Quartz. And I'm going to pull the petal again. And I'm just going to darken up her eyes a little bit, going above the crease line, pulling it in. And you can use, I tend to like the blending brush for working with shadow. It just gives it a little softer feel to it. So I want to darken her up. I'm going to use the dark multitasker. And I'm going to switch over to just the regular eyeshadow brush. I'm just going to work that in the corner. Got some on her forehead. Just blend it in. And I'm going to pull it over about halfway through to the eye. Light up a little on the end. And once you get that color on, you can go back in with your blending brush. Soften that out a little. And I got some on her forehead. We'll just blend it in.
Yeah, I can go in closer to see, like,
Yeah.
that.
And again, if you get fallout, you can just take your brush and get rid of it. And then match up this eye. And I'm just throwing my stuff down. And then going back in with the blending brush and just kind of softening that. Yeah. Gonna add a little bit of dark. I tend to do on myself more blacks, and like today I used the Jet Setter and the blue from the Royal Winter collection. I do love the look of browns. And I'm going to go back in with my Wonderlust. This is like my go-to color. Just highlight your eyes just a little bit. And I'm not going to pull that over. You'll leave your corners still dark. Yeah, the Jet Setter is amazing for smoky eye. It's just amazing. And I think, and I'm going to go back in with Jet Setter. And I do like Brittany, I just spray a little bit in my lid. I have the misting spray and dip my brush in with a little small end. I'm gonna have you look at me. And I'm gonna go along her top. You can go a little bit thicker, especially trying to impress somebody, you know, who took care of kids all day. I know it's been, we should do makeup for ourselves, but this isn't even on the chart to talk about. But I do know I've been home for the last 8 weeks, and I've tried really hard to do my makeup like every other day, really trying hard to impress my husband, because I was kind of hoping maybe he would just want to keep me home. And I wet that back down, and I'm just going to go under her eye again with it, darkening up just what was there. And then I'm going to go back in, telling you these little brushes, just a little brush from the Natural Quartz palette. I'm just kind of dabbing it on there. Give her a little more of a soft, a little bit softer edge there. Maybe look up for me. Get rid of any fallout. And she's already got mascara on. Generally when I'm doing like evening or night makeup, I do like to add lashes on. I don't want to know what's probably in the glue to hold the lashes on. But if it's something that you would like to do, her eyes are a little bit smaller. Don't be self-conscious or anything here. So if you're doing lashes, you can just kind of hold them up to your eye, and you can see where they need to be trimmed. And you just cut those off with some scissors, the extra part that's too big. And I'm only going to put one on one of her eyes. I won't make you guys watch both, but you'll get the gist of what lashes can do. And I would definitely be interested in trying to see how much you could build up with the jet setter. I would think you would probably be able to get your lashes pretty long and thick. I've got some little tweezers. You just want to put that on the lash line. I put some glue on it. These are definitely thick. If lashes are something you want to add, they have natural looking, not natural looking. You can do about anything with lashes. Okay, open. And then I tend to like to go over my lashes with a little bit of the jet setter, just to soften any lines there. And I'm not going, I feel like her eyebrows look pretty good. She doesn't need darkened up there. I am gonna darken up her lips. And I said earlier, I am definitely a lip gloss girl. I do have some of the lipsticks, I don't have as much. So I'm just gonna go back in, and this is the color I used earlier, Embrace. And it's just a real light color, not a big deal. I have a solution. So went in with Embrace. And then I'm going to take, this is supposed to be an eye brush. It's got your, I don't know, little comb on the end. And I like to use this for a lip brush. So I'm actually going to go in with Serene, which is what I used on her cheeks also. I'm going to pick up a little bit of the powder and work it in with the gloss. I think that's like my favorite part about Savvy's. I mean, it's toxin free. We love that. But you can, there's no right or wrong. Like you can use lipstick for eyeshadow, as we've seen, mascara for eyebrows, any of the powders, the palettes, colors that you see that you would want to use for lips. You can mix them in with your lip gloss. Just to darken her up and make her lips a little. Okay. And that's what I would do for night lit, because just darken it up a little bit. And don't be scared to use your eyebrow makeup for your eyes or your lips or wherever you want to put it, and play around and try it out and see how it works for you.
That's awesome. And it didn't take long.
No, doesn't take long at all.
That's
And
what
I think even just the makeup application, I feel like is quicker with the Savvy than when I was messing with like liquid foundation. And so.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Okay, Brittany, we're going to bring Brittany back. And she's going to share some more tips and tricks with us, because goodness knows, anybody has tips and tricks tonight, it's this girl.
Thank you. I don't know how much more I have to share after everyone's presentations. But one of the things I did want to share was my recipe I used to make liquid foundation. I know a lot of people said with drier skin that the sunscreen liquid foundation is too thick for them. But for me, especially in summer, being extremely pale ghost that I am, if I don't have sunscreen on, I get burnt. Like 5 minutes in the sun, my nose is flaking the next day, and it's not pretty. So I like to actually make my liquid foundation, especially in the summertime when I'm outdoors and in the sun, with the Young Living sunscreen. and it saves my face. Like this summer, we're just coming out of summer here in New Zealand. We're heading for winter. But this summer, my face didn't get burnt at all since using this DIY. So if you have extremely pale skin like myself and you want to protect it from the UV, this is really, really good. So all I do is I just get like a little jar, just a little tiny little sample pot. This lasts me weeks, like you don't need much. And all I do is put a squeeze of the sunscreen straight in there. The measurements don't have to be precise. You can mix and match it to your skin tone. That's another really good thing about this recipe is you can really change the color of it with the different powders. So a good squeeze of sunscreen, warm it up first, makes it way more malleable, easier to use. So just mold and play with it in your hands so it gets nice and warm. Squeeze it in there. Add about a teaspoon of your chosen Savvy foundation. I use Warm 1 because it's the lightest foundation I can get that matches my skin tone. And then because the sunscreen is white, it will dull the color of the foundation if you put it in here. So what you can do to combat that is add some of your bronzer. Just like maybe less than half a teaspoon of your bronzer. It'll give you a nice summer glow as well as darken up the white base that you've got in there. And I'm not a huge one for gloss and being too shiny, but if you do really like a photo finish kind of look, you can add a half a teaspoon of the diamond dust as well. And that makes it like a real photo finish, gorgeous, glowy, I guess a night look would look really good with that in there. And for me, I just find it works great in the summer. I don't burn, my skin's happy. I don't get dry and flaky. It's really great. But one really thing you have to remember is when you get it, don't go putting it straight on your face. It's going to be really hard to smooth it around. So instead, try to warm it up in your fingers first. Makes it so much easier, like 100 times easier to spread around your face. So get it nice and warm, and then you'll see it just spreads really beautifully, really easy on the skin. Oh, perfect. And then, so that it's not too sticky, being sunscreen, like Yvonne did, I just get a tiny bit of my foundation powder and just dab it in over the top. And it's gorgeous. It's a really strong coverage if you use the sunscreen, and a fair bit of your foundation as well. So if you have a lot of spots or acne scars, you can use this, and it really does do a good job covering up your spots. So that's my favorite liquid foundation to make in the summertime especially. What else did I have? Save your old Savvy containers. This isn't something I did when I first started, and I'm really sad because I would love all those containers back. But if you save your containers, because Savvy is so versatile, you can make up all your own pigments and colors. I have so many custom colored Savvy powders now. If they don't have the color you want, you can make the color that you want. If you have something that's not a shimmer, add diamond dust and make it a shimmer. You can make, I have one custom that I've made like a shimmering jet setter that I've just put jet setter into another container, added some diamond dust, and now it's a shimmer instead of a matte jet setter. So so much you can do. Save your containers, you know, play around, mix and match your colors, see what gorgeous colors you can come up with. And like we've been saying all night, just because it says it's an eyeliner or just because it says it's a lipstick doesn't mean that's all it is. So really play around and get to know your Savvy, get to know how they work on your face, because they are so versatile. And what else did I have? Last one was you can alter your foundation color with a lot of other products. Sometimes when it swaps to summer and your skin gets a bit darker, I used to put away my foundation and buy another color, which was sometimes a little bit annoying. But all you can do is literally add a bit of bronzer to your foundation powder in the summer. That will darken it up just slightly, and that way you don't have to go buying a different foundation if you've got a bit of sun that year. And if it's a bit too dark, add a little bit of the matte veil, and that will lighten it down. So don't feel like if your skin tone changes in the different seasons, you have to change your foundation. Just mix and match with your different powders, and you can make so many different things.
Perfect. Those are great tips. I love that. such versatility. So all night we've been hearing about the versatility. We've seen the ease of it. I'm excited to go try some new things and experiment a little bit more. And I know everyone else on here is as well. So thank you, first of all, to everyone who shared tonight. I appreciate it. Everyone on here appreciates it. You guys are all amazing. Beautiful, beautiful job. If anyone has a question, I've been trying to watch the chat, but if anyone has a question, feel free to put it in the chat or unmute yourself at this point and ask, while these ladies are here, ask them your questions, because they're going to know a lot of things that I don't know. So don't come and ask me later because I don't know.
Hey, Rhonda, it's Dina.
Dina.
Hey, I have a question for Katie. I noticed that because I bought the serum just recently, I got it yesterday. And I was actually wondering whether I needed to use a moisturizer along with the serum, but I noticed that Katie didn't use a moisturizer earlier. So she was saying that she mixes either the Predescence Plus or the frankincense with the serum and kind of smooths it all over her face. Is that right? Am I right in saying that you don't need a moisturizer?
I use a moisturizer. I don't know. I can't see Katie right now, but Debbie, will you address that? I don't know if she's still here or if something's happened with her. Let me see if I can unmute you, Debbie, just a second. There you go. Oh no. There you are.
I would definitely, well, I'm honestly not a great person with skincare. I'm kind of lazy. I would definitely moisturize, especially, depending on your age group. But, I think it's like your 20s when you start losing some of that collagen, and so I would say moisturize even if you're using the serum still.
Yeah. Well, I've been to beauty school a few times and they've always talked about that. And Yvonne may be able to address that even more, but I can't imagine not, because a serum really does something different than the moisturizer. Yvonne, would you just address that? Would you speak to that?
Yeah, the serum, like you say, it does something totally different than a moisturizer. It smooths a lot of the things. I can't give you the scientific part that it does, but it has a different function than the moisturizer. The moisturizer goes deeper, I understand, into the cells, where the serum gives you a good finish for it. If I remember correctly, it has something to do with the collagen and helping to replenish, helping that to, you're asking the wrong person. But yeah, I've been to many beauty schools, but I don't remember what Luba said about that particularly. I recall little bits, but not enough to put it together. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. What I know about the serum is that it works deeper at this, in a deeper level of the skin than the moisturizer does, because of the size of the molecules and all that good stuff. So it's going a little bit deeper and really doing some other things, more repair and regeneration and that type of thing, where the moisturizer is a moisturizer.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, they're two totally different things. I totally use both.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else have a question? And then I'm going to try to read what's being written in case there is. And the rest of you ladies, if you see a question here, feel free to jump in and answer. If you don't have any Young Living makeup products at all, where do you start? And I think that's a very, someone else may have an answer, but to me, that's a very personal thing. Do you want to do your eyes? Is that where you want to start? Are you, because when I was younger, I just wore eyeshadow, blush, and mascara, and now I wear foundation. So it really, I feel like, depends on where you are. If you're more, okay, not ready to jump into the eye part, but I want good coverage overall, and protection on my face there all day, then maybe you want to jump in with the, with the foundation or some blush and a little, contouring. So I feel like that's a very personal thing. I don't know if someone else has a different answer.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. It's definitely a personal thing because everybody's makeup choices are completely different. But one thing I would say to definitely add is a misting spray. If you're going to get savvy, misting spray really goes hand in hand with it because that's what makes it so versatile. So whether it's the foundation or you're wanting to play with your eyes or anything, definitely add that onto your list.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, can we review once more how to decide what foundation works best? So basically on your face, clean face, you want to just use your finger and you want to use whatever, like you've got your samples, some of you've got your samples, right? So take the color you think looks like it's going to match and just kind of do a line, and then take another color. You can do 2 or 3 right in the same area, and then just kind of rub them in and see which color you no longer see once you rub it in, because you don't want to see that line. And if I'm missing something, ladies, please jump in here and answer that. But you really don't want that made up look. You don't want to be that person walking around with the line here. You want it to blend. So yeah, if you've got the samples, that's what you're going to do. You're going to put it on, do all 3. You can do all 3 on the same side there and just kind of blend them in a little and see which one looks the most natural, because that's the look you're going for. Yeah, and you can totally use, there's all those tips and tricks like Katie was talking about, the color of your veins, the color of your hair and your eyes to color match what color of jewelry you wear. All of those things are places to start. But honestly, to me, if you've got it in front of you, just get it on and try it. Otherwise, try some of those others. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, girls, but I think the most common foundation color is warm 2. I believe that's what I've always heard. So if all else fails, start with a warm 2. And just as Brittany had said, you can add, if it's too dark and you've got veil, you can add some of the veil to it. If it's too light, then order something else. You're not throwing your money away no matter what. You're going to be able to use that. You may pair it with something else, but you're not wasting your money. You can use whatever brushes that you want, but I will tell you that before, years ago, when I first started using mineral makeup, I used Bare Minerals, and I did use their brushes, and their brushes are nowhere near the quality that these brushes are. And I'm not, that's not just me saying here, buy something from Young Living. It's me saying to you, as your friend, these brushes are phenomenal. So, and $85 for the kit of the brushes, you guys, I have paid $65 for one single brush before. So $85 for all those in that carrying case is a really good price point. Kabuki brush from Convention, or was released, don't know what to use it for. Well, you can use that for if that's the brush that you've got, you can use that for your foundation. You can totally do that. And again, one of you other ladies, may have something else to say, but that Kabuki brush is fine to use for foundation, right? Yeah, there is just a difference with the Savvy brushes. Okay, if we've got everybody's questions, again, I'm just going to say thank you to all of our presenters. You did a phenomenal